Now in this next game, white tries to get in on f7, but fails horribly, as we're about to see. And it's a game played between Steiner and Capablanca, Budapest 1929, and it features a line which was only just really starting to get popular. Now, before this game, in reply to the Ruy Lopez, then black usually played something like d6, or indeed knight f6, and then on white playing castles would then go d6. But the deferred Steinitz variation with a6 and then after bishop a4 then d6, this wasn't that well known at the time, so many of the subtleties had not really been investigated and were not known to everybody. And so this explains why Steiner played the standard d4. After d6 then d4 is probably the best move for white. But if black goes a6, bishop a4, d6, then d4 is much more speculative, as we're about to see. Now, Capablanca replies by breaking the pin on his knight with b5, which isn't popular in a regular Steinitz. Steiner decides to go back here, nothing wrong with that, and now black takes on d4, white takes, black takes with the pawn. And in this position, Steiner makes the decisive mistake. Now, he'd probably been a little bit caught out by this, and was perhaps hoping what he played would be all right. I think what he assumed was that now if he played queen takes d4, and black played c5, then this would attack at f7 and the rook, and then when black went here, he could just check, and then when black broke the pin, he could come back and get a draw by repetition. However, what he had missed was that when he does give this check and then goes back here, black can play this move, winning a piece. And there's no way out now for white. He can no longer take this rook because the position of the bishop on d7 means the queen protects the rook. He's no longer got threats against f7, so that is a piece, full stop, end of story. And but he actually got 2 pawns for the piece in the game, like this. Queen takes c4, and after knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7, he castled, but it was never enough, and of course Capablanca went on to win. Now, this trap actually still catches a lot of players, and if you search your database for the position after c5, then you'll see some pretty good players playing white having fallen into this. Now, white can play this variation, but in this situation he cannot play queen takes d4, and what he should do instead is this move, offering a pawn sack. And then if he takes here, then you can play this with white, or perhaps better still go queen out to h5, and then when black goes here, then go here, and when black goes here, give this check. When he goes back here, take this with the queen, and you get compensation for the pawn. So that is a playable line. If you take immediately, then you just lose, full stop. And this is known as Noah's Ark trap. Now, the poison behind this idea is because the moves seem natural for white. There's nothing very artificial looking about what black's trying to do. He's played a series of perfectly natural moves. And the other thing is that this variation looks a little bit like the line with 3d6. So many white players, if they don't know about this, will fail to appreciate the difference. And that's what can catch people. When they think they know something, but there's a small difference that changes the assessment of something completely. And we'll be looking into that in more detail a little bit later on.